Hi, everyone. So thank you for joining this webinar. Thanks for inviting me, Edcam. I'm doing this webinar on virtual reality and more specifically on the impact it has on marketing and communication. So a little about me first. I'm Lara. I am a country manager in a digital marketing agency. So we focus on innovation and I do create virtual reality animations in my daily work. I would define myself as an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a little geek. But I initially studied biological engineering and a master's degree in marketing and digital. So really not much about virtual reality. So what we're gonna see here is what I learned since it started to be so trending from 2012 to this year that has been the main year for virtual reality. So let's start by what is really virtual reality and what it really does. So what virtual reality does is that by wearing a headset, it will recreate an entire virtual world all around you. So that will allow you to be totally immersed in a 360 degrees environment and to have all around you a 3D environment that really feels that you are immersed in this experience. So there are two kinds, let's say, of virtual reality. The computer-generated VR, that is the one on top of the screen, that would be actually things that are created by a computer graphist. And the second part, VR, is 360 actual video recording. So that is kind of a normal film, 2D flat film or 3D as well, but just flattened and put into a sphere. Okay, so the first one is more about imagination, what we can recreate through a computer, and the second one is more about real, actual shootings. So the first one, we don't actually need to get even to the contents of virtual reality to find it as a marketing opportunity. Actually, even the strangeness of the VR device itself causes and arouses curiosity. So as human beings, we're always attracted by what is different, what is new. And people right now are so curious about VR, so willing to try and to experience this weird thing, this weird headsets that will automatically get people's attention and make people remember your brand. So that is the first opportunity we have with VR, that it's so curious that people are already willing to try it for your brand. So the simple fact of associating your brand or your company to a trending technology as VR will already have a positive impact. It will automatically give an image of innovation, of modernity, and that doesn't even require to have powerful or really expensive headsets. Here on screen you already have a cardboard version that is only a folded cardboard viewer, so it's really cheap. It can cost even $1 if you want. So really, it doesn't cost that much. They're low-cost virtual reality headset. You only have to insert your smartphone, and that already is attractive for your brand, and that can have a positive marketing impact. And don't miss the opportunity actually of using those headsets and of creating a first VR experience. This year is the first year where general public had the opportunity of experiencing VR. 2016 has been the main year for virtual reality, with a lot of headsets sold to the general public. And actually, a lot of people are willing to try or curious about this technology, but had never the chance to try it for real. So you can already imagine the impact, the power of a first experience of this kind, so immersive, so captivating. So most people are VR genes yet. So it's an incredible opportunity for you, for marketers, to make your brand memorable, almost forever, I would say, because imagine you could literally be the first VR experience for a person. They will probably never forget that. I do remember where I saw my first VR experience, and when I'm on events, sometimes when I ask people, have you ever tried this? They can exactly tell me where they saw that and what was the content. So if the content is promotional and is about your brand, this is really, this is never going to be forgotten by your client or your customer. So just make sure to be there first. And if your competitors have already done that, it might still be time for you to get in there, but start soon. All right. So now we're gonna see how VR gives a new perspective actually for marketers, and a more immersive perspective. So with more classical medias, we basically had an external point of view. We were spectators of the ads. We were spectators of what was shown to us passively. With virtual reality, we're totally changing the game. So with virtual reality, you actually become part of the experience. So you're not an external protagonist, you are the main character of the story. So you're at the center of the action, like physically, because you're wearing a headset and all the animation is around you. And you gain proximity to the customer. You gain proximity to that person that is having your attention all around you. So you can make that person, through a specific storytelling, the main actor of your animation. Another perspective, another kind of storytelling. It's a new way of talking to customer with more proximity. And the narrative is not just a passive suggestion anymore. It's much more emotional. And as we all know, more emotional storytelling means more impact on the customer, and maybe more possibilities of having a behavioral change. Sorry. So a much more emotional storytelling will really give you a much more impactful message. And actually, even with this perspective, we can go further and have a much more influential storytelling by getting a first-person narrative. So this is the image we have right now. It means that you put the camera or the center of the virtual reality animation in the middle, really, of the scene, and you become the character. So you get the sensation that you have legs, that you have arms, and that you really are the main character. So this is even more impactful and more influential. So the conversion rates are much more interesting for you, because the person that is wearing the headset feels like it is living the experience with you. So it's really an opportunity for you as a marketer to captivate the audience, because as they are wearing this headset and they have all this 360 environment all around them, the audience doesn't really have any other distractions. So you can captivate all their attention, and you can get to them in a much in a closer way. So this really helps you to separate the client from your real world, what you want to create for them, and their real world. So if you're in a booth and you can really talk to clients, because there are actually so many distractions, so many noises around, this is really a way of making people focus really on your message. With TV screens, People can be on their phones at the same time. Here, we really get intimate with our clients. So just try to use it for getting deeper with them and making them really understand your message from that emotional point of view. Let's talk now about the marketing opportunities that are offered thanks to these perspectives. So imagine the power of virtual reality and of recreating a virtual environment all around you for conceptualization. This is one of the most powerful industries, one of the industries that has most used VR till now. We have here an example of the housing industry. They're using VR for recreating houses, recreating decoration, so you can actually see how your house would look like, how it would be designed, how your building would physically look like, and you're able even to walk and tour that space at every stage of the construction, and even before it does break ground. So the power of virtually working in a property totally freely and not just imagining it makes you a better gives you a better understanding of the spaces and the scales. What humans are really bad at doing with only imagination. We're visual people, so it really helps conversion rates because people get a better view of what they're really gonna get, and it decreases the uncertainty level. So it helps really buyers to make that big step, that huge step of buying a house. But it works as well for cars. If you're able to drive a car virtually that has never even been constructed, and that helps you maybe personalize this car specifically for your needs, that might help you as well to decide if you really want that car and really want to make that investment or not. Another aspect that virtual reality is set to revolutionize is experiential marketing. So you are able right now to literally transport your audience wherever you want. So you can make them go to the hotel, if you're in the travel industry, make them go to your hotel virtually and visit the rooms and decide on what view they want for their honeymoon, or what details they want and what hotel they want to pick for their honeymoon. You can as well make them choose their travel destination. You can tour your campus university before picking the one you really feel comfortable with, and that even without moving from your living room. So this is a huge opportunity, and this is going to decrease a lot costs of marketing and help get customers to experience things they were not really able to see or to get a real feeling of before with only 2D videos or print. Another opportunity offered by VR is to bring the unique to everyone with realistic simulations, with recordings. Here we have an image of how it would be to be on Mars and to actually walk around and visit the red planet. We also have a tour of Yellowstone National Park with Barack Obama. That is amazing. I would have loved being there, and now I can be part of this experience thanks to the recordings they have done. So really, this is an opportunity. Some fashion shows have used it to include more audience to their shows virtually with 360 live streaming, for example. And the last step for me, and the most interesting, is that with the growth of this market, we're gonna get customers to get a real feeling of our product. So right now we're in a step with the wow effect where contents are important, but where the impact, the memorization is made more on the innovation itself, on the kind of content, super immersive, super novel that we're offering. And we're going to get to more and more realistic experiences. And right now, there are accessories that are being developed that will get a real help on getting the experiences more and more realistic. So here on screen, we have some gloves, for example, that give force feedback. And when you actually press with your hands with that gloves, you're gonna, and you try to attract, to get, to touch, to catch an object in virtual reality, you're actually gonna get force feedback depending on the real material that we have decided that object to be in virtual reality. So if you have a more soft touch or a harder touch on an object, you will be able to get a real sensation as if you were in the real world, a real feedback from that object. So it's going to be even more interesting for marketers to get customers to try and to get a real simulation of what it would look like to have these objects in your hands. So my conclusions on this are pretty simple. I've been working on this for a couple of years now, and a lot of people say that virtual reality is the next big thing. And for me, actually, we're at a turning point where VR is growing so fast, is trending so much that people think that this is changing marketing. And no, this is not changing marketing. The marketing principles for me are the same. We're using the same rules to get to customers, to understand what our audiences want or need. So virtual reality is not really changing marketing. Virtual reality is not the next big thing. Virtual reality for me is the next big media. And it's not changing what marketing is. It's just changing some rules and some ways in which we are doing marketing right now. So it's going to change the way we communicate. It's going to change the platform. And we were used to communicate through paper at the beginning, then came TV screens, and we were able to adapt to TV screens. So yes, one day virtual reality is going to be the new normal, and past this wow effect, this impactful impression, we will need to get better content. And as we did with internet, with ads, with TV ads, with internet, and even with mobile phones, we're gonna get to understand better this new media, and we're gonna have to improve the contents and the experiences we're able to bring to the audiences. We will understand what they want, what they really need, where their wishes are, and we're gonna learn to use correctly this new media. But this is only a matter of time until this VR technology reaches a turning point that it gets mature enough, so it's not innovative anymore. It's just the new normal, and at the point it's gonna get the new normal, don't worry, we're gonna find new ways, new attractive and innovative ways to make an impact and to differentiate from your competitors. And maybe it's gonna be through mixed reality. Mixed reality is coming. It's where virtual contents are able to interact with real environments. It's really early days right now with Microsoft HoloLens holograms, where you can have interactions with your real world and these holograms. It's coming with Magic Leap. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a picture and link you have on screen right now. And after mixed reality, we will have even more possibilities, don't worry. And here is an example of hyper reality. So this is a simulation that some some people worked on this year. It's a little scary. I recommend you to watch it. It's how mixed reality will be totally integrated in our world, and how it's gonna be superposed at any time in our daily lives to real world. So this is gonna come maybe sooner than we expect, but don't worry. Every time it's just gonna be the new normal, and we're gonna learn how to use it as a marketing tool and to get more impact on the audience, and to captivate the audience even more. So this was for the theoretical part. So I see there are already some questions. When do you think we will see the first VR ad? That is a pretty interesting question, and I'm really glad you're asking when VR is going to be the first ad, when VR is going to have its first advertising. Actually, I think the first ad came at the same time VR came in 2012. There are already so many contents. The only thing is that the distribution of this ad is not mainstream enough that everyone hasn't seen it. But I'm from the early adopters of virtual reality, and I can assure you there already are many virtual reality ads. To give you an example, in 2014, for example, like I told right before about fashion shows, in 2014 at the London Fashion Show, there were already some ads for some brands that did 360 recordings. Dior, for example, has already designed its own virtual reality device to broadcast virtual reality content, and an experience where you can get the sensation of getting your makeup done and your eyes done through a recording, a real recording. So virtual reality ads are already on air. What might be the next step is virtual reality ads, live virtual reality ads. I mean by that, we have broadcasting of events like sport events or concerts. I think the next step is to normalize ads in this context. Like you're looking at a TV screen right now, you're looking at a soccer game maybe, and at some point you got normal ads. The next step in VR is to get integration of these ads into 360 broadcast, I guess. But this is already part of the game. I mean, we're already on that. What sectors of the advertising industry do you think will make the most of VR? That is one of the questions I was totally expecting. There are many sectors that have already seen the wave and are already surfing on the waves of virtual reality. The housing industry has a lot to benefit from VR. The tourism industry has also many things to get from this. Tourism in general. I would say the gaming industry is gonna be revolutionized totally by virtual reality, and more industries that might be interested in that. I mean, the porn industry, as always in innovation, is one of the ones that serves the most on this wave, and one of the ones that is reinventing itself through 360 recordings. Any more industries that might come to mind right now? I mean, any kind of industry. I work more in the medical industry, And this is one of those sectors I feel that are gonna benefit more of this from an educational point of view, as well as for a therapeutical point of view. So this is more of educational thing, but still advertising in the medical field is gonna be great, and education is gonna be reinvented as well for me through virtual reality. So the advertising industry is not the only one that is gonna benefit from this new perspective that totally lets immerse the audience. Another question would be, what is the difference between 360 video, virtual reality, and augmented reality? So that is a question we got almost every day. I would add to this mixed reality and hybrid reality. There are many kinds of virtual experiences. So a 360 video basically is the recording. It's a film that's flattened into a sphere. So it basically is a normal movie, but all around you. So 360 actual normal video that you can look around thanks to your phone's gyroscope or even with your finger. Virtual reality itself might englobe 360 video, but as a purist, virtual reality should only be virtual reality computer generated contents. So now the virtual reality is at a point where we're lacking of contents. We finally have devices that are powerful enough to show, to distribute, and to have real experiences, but we're missing many contents because we couldn't create so many contents because we didn't have the devices. So we're at the point where 360 video is gonna be part of virtual reality because it's the same way of displaying. It's a 360 degrees immersion, and you can get that same contents in the same devices. But virtual reality really shouldn't be 360 video. So I'm just gonna put the slide we had before, so you get again the view of computer generated VR. So that would be the first top part that allows you to actually interact with the environment. You can move around in the space. You can, by looking with your vision, decide on where you can go, what actions you want to take into the virtual reality world. So this is the computer generated interactive one. It's real-time 3D. And the 360 video recording, as you can see down on the screen, is actually centered in this case, and it's really a recording, a shooting, a film at 360 degrees. And augmented reality would be a real environment where you only place objects on top of the real world. Like, for example, with Google Glass or Microsoft HoloLens, you still see through the glass, through the device, the environment around, and you just place objects virtually on top, virtual objects on top of your reality. Mixed reality would be the next step, where those virtual objects that are superposed to the real world can interact with your world. All right, so I hope you got a view of how virtual reality is actually revolutionizing marketing and communication, and how it will continue doing so as a new medium. So thank you everyone for attending the webinar, and hope it's gonna help you understand better this industry and how it's gonna change the world. Thank you very much. Goodbye.